In Columbus, we'll share our offensive film takeaways plus highlights from the Ryan Day's latest interview. And then the big picture. Ryan Day is on a record-breaking pursuit of the all-time winning percentage in program history. We'll discuss what it means, how sustainable it really is, and whether it can stand in the record books long-term. I'm Chris Drew, and this is the Buckeye Roast with Ron and Q right here on Dead Air Sports. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are back for another episode of the Buckeye Roast. It's your boy Ron James here with my guy QP Ski. Q, how you doing?
Another day, another dollar. Or I probably lost $1 moving. So one of the two, but not too bad. Ron, how are you?
Where are these dollars coming from?
I know where they're going.
Health for 3 years now.
I don't really know where they're going.
No, I am doing tired. I have no stat. I have no trivia. Q, do you have anything to get us started here? We got an action-packed show today. We're talking about interviews. We watched the offensive film. Anything to add?
Yeah, I had a stat. So as y'all know, I was out for the Penn State, Oregon, and also Georgia, Alabama game. So I couldn't hear them actually talking about the game. I literally just realized that Bear Alexander plays for Oregon, who's now at his 7th school since high school. So I had no idea that was him until now. I'm like, because I didn't. Yeah, they did have the names on their back. I just didn't see it. And I'm like, what? Is that Bear Alexander? So Bear Alexander sighting. I only found out because he didn't make the Pro Football Focus team of the week. So shout out to him. It's going to work out eventually.
Yeah, it has to be a sore spot for Penn State. That was someone that they were also after in one of his many school transitions throughout the years. I don't think anybody's been to any more schools in the last 7 years than Bear Alexander. So, I mean,
he might make it next year.
Yeah, there's definitely always still next year. He's only, through 7 schools, which means he has at least one more year of eligibility. So who will that lucky candidate be to land him?
Too funny. But yeah, I thought that was funny to throw in there for a little, if you didn't know.
A little, if you didn't know. Q, plenty to talk about today. Let's get into it.
All right, play the song, man. Let's do it.
Last week, we spent all of week 5 talking about the word chaos and all of the potential upsets surrounding week 5. It absolutely lived up to the hype. 6 overtime games, multiple ranked teams going down. Week 6 has a lot to live up to, Q.
Some games in here. Okay.
I mean, you got the obvious one at the top with Vandy, Alabama. Everybody's wondering, is Alabama actually legit after losing to Florida State in week 1? Was it off the bat?
Yep,
week 1, they lose to Florida State. And I mean, I had people commenting on the video on the national TikTok today. I did the Dynasty is over video, and I had to comment back to some people and say I might have jumped the gun on this one, but we'll see here if they continue to if they continue to lose to Diego Pavia in this Vanderbilt program. I might have to repost that video.
Yeah, I'm looking here. So Vanderbilt, we talked about a little yesterday. I gave them a little credit. Second in the SEC at 5-0. They did beat South Carolina, who's disappointing. They also did beat Virginia Tech, who South Carolina beat. So I guess they swept that game. But yeah, not really much other than that. So I'm interested to see Alabama. I thought played really well on Saturday. Pretty much controlled a lot of the game. So I feel like, have we seen this movie before, or is this the sequel? That's the true question.
Yeah, this one's at Alabama, so at least the goalposts don't have to worry about ending up in the river here. Q, who do you think has the better quarterback in this matchup?
I mean, it's hard to say anybody in the country right now is playing better than Ty Simpson. And yeah, we can make arguments, but I mean, he's absolutely balling right now. as far as Alabama, I think they've really hit their stride offensively. So I mean, Ty Simpson was super impressive against Georgia. Their defense may not be what it was in 2021 or 2022, but it's going to be hard to have that defense every single year because it's one of the best that we've seen. So I think Ty Simpson is absolutely balling right now. How was he in the Heisman poll last week?
Nope.
Or not last week, yesterday. He's playing like it right now. So I will take him right now over Diego Pavia. But hey, man, it's a little Johnny Manziel is going to be at the game. Will it be a little Johnny Manzielus on Saturday and Diego Pavia running around making some things happen? And can we see what we saw last year is the question.
Yeah, it'll definitely be something to keep an eye on. Diego Pavia, second in the Heisman poll. Yesterday when we went over it, Diego Pavia was at number 2. So, I mean, if he finds a way he was at number 4. If he finds a way to get a win, you would imagine that he finds a way to sneak into the number 1 position at this point.
He
beat Alabama on.
Say Dante Moore can go from like 8 to 1, and Diego Pavia wins, he'll be at 1.
Yeah, again, I feel like it's almost like a weekly award. We always used to joke about Jim Knowles, player of the day. I was like, you might as well be calling roll. It feels like everybody wins one of these throughout the season. It's like your birthday during camp. It's just your one chance to get acknowledgement. Everybody seems to win those type of awards, and it seems like now it's whoever has the best performance that week, not necessarily putting together the best campaign. But if he does find a way to beat Alabama, the hype's going to go. And when you have your little Theo Vaughn bit running with Theo Vaughn and his mom, I mean, I guess that plays into the Heisman campaign and Heisman voting. But we're here to talk about Week 6 matchups, and you move on to the number 2 game on this list, and you have Miami taking on Florida State, a Big 3 rivalry. This is the final game in the battle for the best team in Florida. Miami has gone out there and handled business against UF and USF. They can complete the trifecta by beating the Seminoles this weekend. All the hype is around Miami. People are finally starting to believe in them, and this is right around the time that Mario starts to do Mario things. Do you have any concerns with this Miami program finding a way to get in their own way here?
I mean, I have a lot of concerns, not just because I'm a fan of Mike Norvell in his program, but I mean, we watched that Florida game. If the Florida offense had any level of pulse, they might have been able to sneak that game and get out of there with a win. Now, they did not, but we know the Florida State offense at least does have a pulse. So Florida State's at home. I think this is a big-time game, and like you said, this is the last – I mean, not even for the state championship. This is like the last bump in the road of Miami until the ACC championship, if you look at their schedule. So Florida State has to get a win here. Loss against Virginia definitely hurts. If they want to stay in the contention for it, they got to go and win this game, especially at home. So I have a lot of concern. If I look, and I can check the spread right now because I have it up. Florida State is at – okay, here we go. So Miami is -4.5 right now. So, yeah, I mean, I could see this going either way, but I mean, you definitely got to go with Miami right now as far as they look this season.
Q, I mean, I look at this list, and it's not a very exciting week in college football, and they're already breaking my number 1 rule, and that is there is no such thing as a top 10 game of the week that includes Boise State. And the fact that they have them at number 3 is beyond laughable. I'm not sure if they made this list back in July and they've just been sitting on this graphic and they're like, fuck it, we're rolling with it. But the idea that Boise State Notre Dame is the 3rd best game of the week is either telling me this is a god-awful slate of college football, or whoever made this graphic is a Notre Dame fan, because you couldn't pay me to watch that game. There's absolutely no chance in hell that I will even turn that game on, so I'm not even going to discuss it. And then Texas Tech, Houston, again, couldn't pay me to watch it. So I'm going to skip down to 2 SEC teams, and you have Mississippi State taking on A&M. Mississippi State takes Tennessee to the wire. Mike Elko has things rolling at Texas A&M. I said that it lent more to the idea that Mississippi State's a little bit better than we believed and Tennessee is a little bit fraudulent. Do you think they could go on the road and match the emotional energy that they had in that Tennessee game and follow it up with a potential another challenge for Texas A&M here?
Yeah, I may be wrong, but no. I think Texas A&M is a pretty solid team right now, especially the way they've looked. I mean, we give Notre Dame some level of respect. At least they will have a big win on the road to Arkansas, so they're at least a decent team. But, I mean, I will say I think Texas A&M handles business here, and I think this is a pretty convincing win. I'll check the spread in this. Oh, here we go. They're minus 14.5, so I don't think anybody's really worried about Texas A&M in this game.
Yeah, and then, I mean, you look at number 8, and if you would have told people preseason that Texas-Florida was the 8th best game of the week in week 6, they would have thought that you were insane. And you think about you look at this matchup now, and it's like, this is like I don't even know who you choose from as far as who's been more disappointing as a quarterback, DJ Lagway or Arch Manning this season. Both of them crowned to be the next coming of Jesus Christ before the season, and both of them have now got off to not the greatest starts. I mean, Billy Napier seems to be on the chopping block at Florida, so much so that Lagway, in and out of walking boots, hasn't been practicing during the offseason. It's just been a tumultuous year for the Florida Gators. And then you have Texas, who, I mean, I would imagine most Buckeye fans are rooting for just to continue to hold on to that win and justify. Because you want to see Texas go out there and beat, I don't even think you can consider Florida a good team, but beat teams knowing that, you're holding on to that as your best ranked win so far. So you hope Texas goes out there and handles business. Q, I'll ask you, which one of these quarterbacks do you think is going to not lose this game?
I mean, I have to go with Arch, just the way Lagway has played, even though he came out with a quote this week saying the Florida offense will pop eventually. Like, yeah, I'm sure it will. I'm sure you have a FCS team down the line.
Yeah, he only has 4 years of eligibility. They should be able to figure it out eventually.
Sure, they have an FCS team down the line that they'll find a way to score 40 on with the talent they have at Florida. I look at this game. Texas right now is minus 6.5, which seems a little low. I mean, Texas should go in and win this game. I don't know what Florida really has for them, but I mean, something's telling me it could get tricky there. But I'm hoping Texas rolls, man. I don't need Texas being that bad to where they can't go on the road and get a non-scary win against a Florida team.
Yeah, I mean, this Florida team is in the dumps. If Texas finds a way to go out and lose this game, I get that it's at Florida, but this isn't a must-win game if Texas is who they want us to believe they are. Moving on to the most elite conference in all of college football, the Big Ten, you have a heavyweight matchup between Maryland and Washington, two teams that could argue that they should be in the top 25, but they show no respect, Q. No respect to Washington and Maryland. Neither one of these teams ranked. Malik Washington, true freshman quarterback for Maryland, set to make a ton of money next year. I'm interested to see how he plays against Damon Williams, a quarterback that, I mean, we heard so much about, and then the Buckeyes make him look like an average quarterback this past weekend. I think this will be a great matchup of two big name Big Ten quarterbacks, and I'm interested to see what Washington looks like against another Big Ten opponent that doesn't have the best defense in the country.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I looked at this slate of games, like I don't understand how this game is. If these are ranked in what we're looking forward to, I mean, I probably put this at 3. Maybe 2, like 2.5 tie with Alabama and Vanderbilt. Both these quarterbacks are dynamic. Malik has come into the Big Ten, and he's pretty lit it up. So they're undefeated right now. Wisconsin is underwhelming, so maybe that win doesn't mean as much as it normally would. But talk about Washington. They have been lighting up the scoreboard until they ran to Ohio State. So I would believe they start lighting up the scoreboard again, especially at Maryland. This might be a shootout that gets people a little more interested in the Big Ten. That's what I want to see. I want to see these two teams so score a lot of points. Have a little shootout in Maryland this weekend. That's how I'm looking forward to.
Q, you look at number 5 on this list. You see Virginia and Maryland, and I don't even know if this would be a top 5 matchup this week if they told me these basketball teams were showing up, because it's sure as hell not a top 5 football matchup. Louisville versus Virginia. I get Virginia just beat Florida State, but did Louisville not just lose to Pitt?
Yeah, they did.
In what fucking world is this a top 5 college?
Oh, wait, no.
matchup?
Did Louisville get the hold on? Did Louisville get the dub? I have to look. Did they lose a pin or did they get the dub? I remember it was close. Hold on, I can check for you. Because I remember the ball boy incident on the side of the game.
They won by 1. They won 34-27. So I mean, I
don't know why it's a big game. It's at number 5 though. I mean, I really got to understand, are these the rankings of the games they really want us to watch? Like, okay, you got to work your way down this list. They're just
who is they?
Games.
I don't even know who the fuck this person at college Graph B. What narrative would they be pushing with this?
I mean, I don't think they would have a narrative, but I would not put that game at 5. It'd probably be at 9 or 10. But I will say Virginia beats Florida State. I had to take the L for that one. I mean, can they keep it rolling? I mean, I think Virginia's played pretty solid this year, so they're probably carrying this side of the schedule. But can they keep it rolling and can they get to the ACC championship? Because it's winding down. We got Georgia Tech out there, Miami, Virginia. The ACC is a little bit getting a little thinned out because some of the bigger teams are losing. So we'll see if Florida State can bounce back. But Virginia's in there. They're competing right now.
Q, we have. I don't even know. I keep looking at this list. We get to 10 and you see Iowa State and Cincinnati, and you know we're scraping the bottom of the barrel there. I mean, fire up. Make sure your Xbox and PlayStation are updated this weekend because it does not seem like a hefty slate in college football. I mean, the Buckeyes game is against Minnesota as well, so like, good luck finding the excitement in college football this week. You're gonna need to bet on this one to make it exciting. We got a chance to watch the offense. Go ahead.
Say, what will I do all weekend?
I know you're normally just glued in front of the TV. We had an opportunity to watch the all 22 from the offense. Did you have any initial takeaways, Q?
Running game wasn't quite as bad as I thought it was. I will say I thought we ran the ball decently. I wouldn't say great, but I would say decently. One, I need CJ Donaldson to work on his pad level just a little bit. I mean, this is the second time we've seen him. I think Juck talked about this too. Second time we've seen him with a one-on-one with a yard to go and not getting it. And I think he mentioned that he needed to work on his pad level. So that's something that comes out to me. But yeah, it's just the packages, man. Just a lot of tight ends are playing, and not to get on Nate Roberts because he is a freshman. This is his first season, so you shouldn't be really have to rely on him for anything. But I don't know if that fullback experiment is exactly working out as well. I mean, I think he definitely needs to develop a little bit into his blocking and find the man if he's going to play that role. But I thought Julian Sand played fine. I thought the wide receivers were the wide receivers. Again, I talked about Inniss before. I thought he had a decent game. I think if he didn't fumble, people would be talking about him in a much better light right now. So, but overall, Julian Sand they need to give him more. I thought this offense is just a little conservative. It's like this defense is playing so well. Like, you can open up this offense, and if you do, then you really have the Death Star of teams in college football. That's probably one thing they're like, come on, man, give us a little more, do something.
You brought up Nate Roberts in the fullback role. That actually came up in Ryan Day's interview. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later in the show. But when asked about would he ever use a scholarship position on the fullback, Ryan Day said he feels like the body types in their tight end room can handle what they asked the fullback to do. So, I mean, they seem to feel like Nate Roberts is capable of handling that role, and they don't really have too many other tight ends to choose from because they already have 9 of them on the field before they bring Nate Roberts on. So I don't know who else they could potentially turn to in that role. So you just hope he's able to get that right there. Anything else stand out to you on the film? On my initial watch, I tried to go into it with an open mind because, you know, anytime I criticize any individual on the team, people jump at it immediately and say that I'm picking on a player or I'm being unfair to a player or not being balanced enough in my analysis. So I went into this game open-minded that I would not have any preconceived notions of the performance that I thought I saw on Saturday from any one individual.
I'm glad.
And then I watched the tape and realized I wasn't fucking blind, and I saw exactly what I thought I saw. And the same thing that I've been saying week in and week out, when people tell me I'm picking on someone, I continue to see it. So I'm not even going to say the name. Anybody that watches the show knows exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not even going to talk about it anymore because and the reason why I bring this up week in and week out, because everybody's like, well, what's the solution? I'm like, they are the solution. Like, when they are playing at their best, they are the best at their position. When they're not, they're the worst at their position on the team. And it's just like, I don't know what other way to spin it. It's just like each week you just hope to find the consistency, because when they put the best plays on the field, they look fine. They win a national championship as a starter. When they're playing terrible, you wonder why they're out there, but it doesn't seem like they have a good option. And like I've been saying since week one, what's the potential replacement or correction for this position? It's the person already playing it, and I'm just waiting for them to put on consistent film, because we absolutely did not get that in last week's game.
Yeah, it wasn't consistent. I mean, I thought the offensive line looked pretty good. One, I got to shout out Austin Sareveld. I mean, the stat came out, he hasn't given up a pressure all year, but I mean, he is absolutely cooking right now. We talked about in the preseason, we're like, the last two guys that started to tackle were first rounders. Well, he's certainly holding up his bill. I don't know if he'll be a first rounder, but he's certainly playing like it right now. Him and Luke Montgomery, I think that left side of the O-line is very elite. And I know we got a Philip Daniels quote later, but I think the right side of the offensive line, still a little bit of ways to go. Still guys with plenty of talent. Just got to continue to be consistent, because you see, I think the worst part is, and we talk about it sports, you see the bright spots. You're like, hey, if you can just do that more often than not, we'll be perfectly fine. So obviously Tegra and Philip Daniels got a little bit of ways to go, but I think Philip Daniels has played really well this season. I think better than a lot of us expected. I mean, we didn't even know if he's going to get that starting role. In Tegra, he's been hot and cold. I mean, new nickname, Icy Hot. That's just how it goes sometimes with him. But a little ways to go, but it's only game 4, week 5. So we're moving to week 6. Let's see if we can get more consistent on the offensive line.
Yeah, you brought up Austin Sareveld. Stephen Means had an interesting stat regarding him. Austin Sareveld's one of 7 offensive linemen in the country who have played at least 100 pass blocking snaps, but you have yet to give up a pressure. He's the only one of those 7 that plays tackle.
Yeah, I mean, just elite performances by him. And it's like, we used to talk about it on defense. If your guys are playing, like, it's a good thing. Almost that point, the offensive line is like, I'm not even looking at the defensive end on that side of the ball, because he's just not going to show up on my TV monitor. So I think him and Luke Montgomery are just such a staple on that left side. If we can get the right side to match it. I mean, you think about it, the running game could be a little bit better, and we are playing 57 million tight ends. So if they can get a little more consistent, man, it's just the floor. The ceiling is the roof, man. This offense is just so talented.
Yeah, I mean, we'll stick with the offensive line discussion. Ryan Day talked about Tegra Shabola. One of his false starts said that it was on saying. I projected that Tegra would have a clean bill of procedural penalties. Ryan Day said that one's Julian's fault. Do I get credit?
So you were right.
I mean, any opportunity to claim being right, I'll take it.
And I was wrong, because I said Tegra's due. Oh, that's so bad. Shout out to Tegra, man. I mean, we getting better week in, week out. I'm a Tegra fan. Might get a jersey.
Yeah, rewatching the film, the thing that stood out to me the most was not even a performance on the field, but just the lack of possessions from the Buckeyes in the first half. Like, how you watch the first 3 possessions and you're like, all right, second half, and you're like, whoa, what happened? And you see all the stats about, we talked about it last week, about the changing in clocks and how much that has impacted the amount of possessions the Buckeyes have. I believe they're averaging just under 7 possessions a half, and now the Buckeyes are averaging right around 9 possessions a game. It has drastically reduced the amount of opportunities for the Ohio State offense, and I felt like that jumped off the screen more than any one individual performance. Was just like, man, I went to go rewatch this film, and 6 minutes in, we're already at halftime. So to think about how little film there was just from the first half, and I think in the moment it felt more frustrating, as if like the offense was underperforming. But I mean, they end up getting in the end zone. The one the final drive of the first quarter, and the first one stalled out in the red zone. The other one is the Brandon Inniss fumble. So it's just like, I mean, they lost the possession because of the Brandon Inniss fumble. So just on rewatch, it just felt like in the moment, just because the game was closer, it felt like the offense wasn't performing, but they really just weren't getting opportunities. And then you see, you hear a lot of Julian missed this open guy, Julian missed that open guy, and you're watching the film and it's like his first read is open and he's throwing to his first read. I think a lot is being made about Julian not seeing the field, and maybe I was just too tired watching the film, but I really wasn't seeing what people said Julian saying wasn't seeing. I felt like he saw the game decently well out there, and it feels more like play calling suppressing this offense than it actually is any individual's performance. The Buckeyes are going out there with a vanilla game plan, running a ton of RPOs, running the ball a ton. It just feels like they're content going out and beating teams however they see fit, and not going out and putting on a show week in and week out like Buckeye fans want them to. And I'm torn here because I'm in one note, I want the Buckeyes to go out there and just win a national championship, however it looks. And then on the other hand, I'm like, we got all these SFE receivers. We got Jeremiah Smith. Can we go out there and put on a show? And it's like, at the end of the day, as long as they're winning, it's fine. And I'm sure we're going to get our tons of highlight plays throughout the season. So just have to wait and see for this offense to come along.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think the tempo is slowed a little bit, but I think part of the tempo being slow is the fact that we play so many tight ends. It's like you're not going to have a fast tempo with 3 tight ends and 4 tight ends on the. If you can, I would love to see it, because you just have freak shows of tight ends running tempo that fast. Yeah, I think that adds to the slow pace a little bit. I think Julian saying is fine. He does get out the pocket a little early at times when the pocket has not broken down, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm out of here." So, I mean, that has been a worry since training camp. But I think he sees the field just fine. I think he throws a good ball, and I think it's more so the coordinator's not giving him enough to do quite yet. So we'll see if that picks up as it goes along. But, I mean, I think this offense is fine. Again, you should score in the red zone early. They run a vanilla, just dive right into a monsoon and don't get it. Next time you see them run that play, they have 2 options, and both guys are wide open. So I think Harline probably learned from that the first time. It's just hard to run in the red zone. But I think if they had scored on that drive and then one before the half, people would not be complaining about the offense. Before they got stopped once and then they fumbled another time, where they're probably going to get the ball at the 30 and should score again. So I think it's working out. I think this offense could pick up. I do want to see the highlight plays, just like you. And you're like, man, I got a Mylan Graham and more guys over there. Like, I want to see this offense go, but maybe we're just not there yet. But we're getting into the middle Big Ten play, so maybe we'll see it. But I think Julian Sanders playing fine. Again, as long as you win, it'll be quiet.
Yeah, you mentioned Mylan Graham. That was another thing that I noticed on the replay. It didn't get a touch, but used as a bit of a decoy in this past week's game. Q, I don't even know what is left that I want to see from this offense. Everybody says they want to see them open it up, and I guess that's the only thing to do is wait for Julian Saban to have the game where it feels like CJ Stroud's freshman year when they were asking him to throw the ball 50, 60 times a game. And I just don't ever think you're going to see that with this defense that the Buckeyes have. It's just not necessary. We're not going to have the possessions that we used to have in those games. So we're definitely not even going to have the opportunities to run it up in those ways anymore. So I just hope that we see Julian continue to execute within the offense. And as long as he's protecting the ball, I'm content with what he's putting on film right now. And you see a lot of people just trying to nitpick this Ohio State offense. And like, I say this all the time. When I criticize the right guard position at Ohio State, I'm not criticizing it from the point of, oh, this guy's awful, or, oh, they can't do it here, they're never going to be able to win. This team is borderline flawless, and there's not much to talk about, and that's kind of really one of the only things that stands out. And it's not oh my God, this is going to cripple and sink the team. It's just this kind of stands out because there's not really anything else jumping out as far as flaws with this team. And even on the rewatch, last year I always used to say that it was always encouraging watching this offensive line because rarely did you ever see them get out physical. It was normally mental mistakes, and I still think that's continuing. Like, the Buckeyes have a super physical offensive line. You see the stats that we just discussed about Austin Sareveld. Seems like this Buckeyes team is balanced and content with winning at their own pace, and I don't know. They're playing the Fighting PJ Flex, and he is a giant bozo. So I would imagine the Buckeyes open it up a little bit, and the Buckeye fans are going to get their wish and get to see a little bit more explosivity, as the college football nerds would say is lacking from the Ohio State offense.
Yeah, I mean, Big Ten game at night, Minnesota rolls in. You feel like the play calling will be a little bit more expansive. I mean, if I had a notes list of what I want to see from the offense, I mean, early enough would have been more Bo Jackson. I think we're starting to get that now. We'll look see Julian sit in the pocket a little bit more. I think that'll come with time. Again, it's only his fourth game that's started. He's only been in the program for a year before now. So that will come with time. Ryan Day is a quarterback whisperer, as they call him. So I'm pretty sure he'll get that together. I mean, we'd love to see a little rotation. I'm not going to, but it's always going to be on my list. We can play 5 tight ends. We can't play 5 receivers with the amount of guys over there. Okay. But other than that, and them open it up a little bit more. Outside of that, I mean, I think the offense is fine. And I think the running game is progressing. I think Hartline, the more reins they give him to call plays, the better this offense will be, because I've had no beef with Hartline when it's felt like Ryan Day doesn't want to go the more conservative approach. So that would be my list from the first 4 games of the season.
Ryan was also asked about someone on the offensive side of the ball, but their role in special teams, and seems like everybody keeps asking for a new punt returner, and Ryan Day giving, it feels like, a Saban answer, essentially saying, it's not going to happen, so quit asking. Like, Brandon Inniss is the punt returner. They asked him about it, and he said if Brandon doesn't fumble, they think he's had now back-to-back positive returns that they were happy with. So as long as he doesn't put the ball on the ground going forward, they think they like what they have at punt returner. Q, do you agree?
The one thing I usually beef with this team on is personnel. And I really thought Inniss had a good return. If he hadn't fumbled, I mean, that was probably the best return of the year. And I thought it was a good return generally, no matter who was returning it. My only thing is there's just so many athletes and so many players on this team with, it feels like, nothing to do on Saturdays, that somebody can really take this role and make it their own. I mean, you talk about Nate Roberts playing his fullback role. They're giving him something to do and saying, hey, we're playing 4 tight ends. We got them doing a lot. This is your one job. Go do it to the best of your ability. Somebody can do that at punt return. Somebody else can do that at kick return. Like, that's just how I feel with all the guys you got on this roster.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've been the biggest supporter of Brandon Inniss that there is out there, and I want him to get every opportunity possible to him. And, you know, anytime he has an opportunity to catch the ball, I love it. But I do agree that there probably are more dynamic options. But again, who might argue with the staff? They seem adamant that this is going to continue to happen, and they believe that they have the right guy back there. So, I mean, as long as it's not Jeremiah Smith, they could put Sister Jean out there, and I'd be like, fair catch.
roll the way through. I mean, Ryan Day said it, so we know we're gonna get, but it is what it is. That's just our opinion. What do we know? Just a couple yellow jackets, maybe a green jacket in there. Might have been to the Masters once, but I don't know too much.
If you've been to the Masters, because I would argue a completely off-topic rant, golf is easily the worst live sporting event to possibly ever attend.
But see, I would counter that argument and say you haven't been to Waste Management.
See, and look, I would counter that and say that if my goal is to get shitty drunk for a day, I have infinite numbers of ways to do it better than at any golf course with the restrictions of any PGA Tour event going on around it. And look, I feel like this is what you're going to try to argue and say, oh, it's the biggest party in Arizona going on at the time, yada, yada, yada. And look, and here's my counter. EDC happens in Vegas every single year. It's one of the biggest dance festivals in the world. and it's in the middle of nowhere Vegas at a racetrack 45 minutes away from the Strip. If I'm getting on a plane and flying to motherfucking Las Vegas, I'm not getting on a bus to the middle of nowhere and sitting at a racetrack for a festival. Like, if I'm in Arizona, bro, I'm not going to this damn golf course. There's infinite places that I could go and have a better time than the Waste Management. I'm not going. There's no way that a golf event, I don't care what type of party they make it, I know this is a national holiday for you, Q. I had such an awful experience at the Masters that I have such a hard time believing that the Waste Management could not be spent better somewhere else in Phoenix.
Well, now I will counter argument and tell you, number one, Waste Management take place in Scottsdale, Arizona, one of the party capitals of the country.
That's what I'm saying. So if you're already in Scottsdale, why are you going to this damn golf course?
Hold on. Number two, Waste Management is not the Masters. This is not a be quiet and shut up while we go putt and have your beer in silence. This is a go meet and greet, yell, chug in the audience, make noise. The golfers are into it. Have a blast, and and us on the golf side will entertain y'all. That is what it is. And then go post game at this 5-star hotel right next to it, and go in and continue to have a day going into the night where you will continue on the party into Super Bowl weekend.
But so hear me out.
Okay.
In that scenario, instead of walking around a golf course all day, you wake up, you go to brunch, you get drunk, you go to a bunch of bars, and then you meet everybody for the after party instead of spending the day on a golf course. I'm just spitballing here.
I'm just saying, Ron. You just gotta see that it's the scenery that you see out there. The people, you don't have to walk around every hole. There's a little central location where it's like a little town of places you get drinks and everybody crosses there and celebrities roll through next to like 3 different holes. So you can see a little golf and go back and just have a great time. Like, honestly, I seen one putt of golf last year when I went, and I had a great time.
How many celebrities did you see? Who was the most famous person that you saw at the Waste Management?
Honestly, the most famous person I probably met was not a famous person at all. It was the daughters of the Cubs manager for the MLB team, the highest paid manager in baseball, who went to U of A, and her friend got arrested. So she came over to talk with us, and we found out who her dad was, and was like, "Oh, this is why you're living this life as an 18-year-old."
Did you tell her, hey, I'm trying to get some Saudi funding. I could be partying like you here shortly.
I'm sure Dad could have let me hold 100 or 200. So,
after the Saudis invested in my Ohio State podcast, I'm thinking about buying a minor league team. What's up?
Ron, I think she missed the bus or something. So she took an Uber from Tucson to Scottsdale, which had to be like $300-400, and then she has to go back. So that's just to let you know. I think he could have let me hold 500 or 600.
She didn't technically have to go back. Hugh, you have a place to stay, right?
No, I do not. No, for college kids, I do not. Grow up, sport.
Oh man. Ryan Day talked about your little brother. Maybe he's of the right age range.
He has a place for her to stay. I do not.
Yeah, I mean Columbus is about 30 minutes from your place, right?
Yeah, he might be, actually that'd be a good investment, but for me, not so much.
What did he have to say about your little brother? And for the people unfamiliar with the show, people who you're not actually related to.
No, talking about Aaron Scott. Obviously, I put a tweet out over the weekend saying what a hit. I'm definitely running down on kickoff. I think Ryan Day said he's been first the last 13 times they've ran down on kickoff, and he deserves to get snapped, or he will get snaps and play a lot of football upcoming. So, I mean, this is big for us. We talked about in the preseason, it was him and Bryce West were the 2 guys where we're like, look, these guys were high-class recruits. They're coming into their second year. We've seen Jermaine Matthews kind of blaze that path, started to get snaps. Really, Devin Sanchez has hopped them. So who's going to be next to him next year when everybody's like, hey, we're off to go get paid? So Aaron Scott getting an opportunity. I'm happy about it. I could see this defense going maybe a little bit deeper. We haven't seen it much, but you can't complain when they're giving up 5 points a game. So not going to do that. But Aaron Scott to get more snaps, I'm all for it.
Absolutely. And I feel like he's earned them. But where do they come from? Like, It doesn't seem like they rotate the secondary that much other than bringing Devin Sanchez onto the field. So where does Aaron Scott factor into that situation?
Yeah, I wondered that. I mean, I think me and Cleveland might have talked about this for a bit. I mean, that Lorenzo Styles role that he currently plays, I think fits Aaron Scott the best. I don't necessarily know.
He doesn't really rep at the nickel.
Yeah.
I mean, he spent most of the
really
year at outside corner.
Yeah, I don't really know if he's somehow always fit. Like I thought Bryce West was the better outside corner. Aaron Scott would be better inside. They've somehow flip-flopped. So I think, but again, if he's going to play outside, then I guess he's just somehow taking snaps off of IGB and Jermaine Matthews, which I don't see happening. So if he's going to play, I think that would be a better role for him to play. But I don't coach at Ohio State. What do I know?
Yeah, I mean, this feels like very similar to the disconnect with the Mylan Graham lack of playing time situation. It's like, all right, well, who's he going to come in for? I don't know. Carnell Tate. Oh, when you taking Carnell off the field? Never. All right. Well, we'll try again next week. And I feel like it's going to be the same thing with Aaron Scott. Like, oh, who do you come in for? Oh, Davison Igbenosun. Oh yeah, that guy that Ryan Day just spent half the press conference raving about. Yeah, good luck. I guess, and we'll hope to see it. And you know, the path to playing time is through special team performance. So he's checking the boxes. He's put his head down, waited his turn, continued to develop, and I'm excited to see him get his opportunity and interested to see where.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's kind of a throwback to the urban days. You wanted to play, you go out on special teams and make a name for yourself or get a big hit, have people talking about you, then you find your way onto the field. We really haven't seen that much in the Ryan Day era, really barely. I mean, so we're waiting for it. It's good to see if they have a throwback to say, hey, you're making plays, you're showing yourself out, people are talking about you. Here's a chance to get on the field and play. And I want to see that back in this program because I think that just adds a competitive edge to it. And it makes people want to play special teams because I don't want to run down there for, 100 kickoffs if there's no added bonus in there. Like, it's cool and all, but like, give me something for my success. So I like to see that. And hopefully Aaron Scott plays well.
Q, Ryan Day talked about Davison Igbenosun and the edginess that he brings to this team and saying that he just loves his energy. And anyone that's been watching the show for a while knows that I contend that Davison Igbenosun's recruiting visit was a seminal turning point in the Ryan Day era at Ohio State. And everybody's like, whoa, what happened? We used to have a nickname for Ohio State around here when we first started doing shows together. Q, what was that nickname?
What was that nickname? That's so long ago at this point.
No swag you.
Oh, no swag you. Yeah.
No swag you. I mean, we were the most vanilla brand. Say nothing, do nothing. Everybody's an introvert. No one wants to lead. We don't like to yell. Like, it was just the most introverted Ryan Day identity team. And it was just like something is weird. And it's not that, and everybody always used to call it soft. And it's like, it's not soft. Ryan Day has a bunch of elite athletes on his team that have played at high level prep schools and have been trained like professionals. Ryan has a team full of professionals and just didn't feel like there was that junkyard dog. And then this kid shows up to Ohio State and takes recruiting photos with no shirt on, a gold chain, and a shiesty. And I was, something different going on around here. I ain't never seen a shiesty inside the Woody. And it felt like something different was happening at Ohio State with this Davison Igbenosun recruitment. The video, I remember first searching his name, like, who is this kid that Ohio State's potentially going after? And he had a highlight tape from that offseason, and it's like him and a bunch of like future Amazon workers running routes against them, and he's just mauling them. And I'm like, yeah, I want to get on my team. I don't even know if he can actually cover, but I like this energy. He's had on his shiesty since the season ended. I need him on my team. And Land Davison Igbenosun and Ryan Day continues to speak about the edge that he's brought to the team, and I think that's necessary. And we've talked about the edge just from all of the different pockets around the country in these recruiting pipelines that the Buckeyes have, and it feels like they have those type of guys from everywhere. in different types of dogs and leaders on this team. And I feel like that has been one of the final puzzle pieces for this Ryan Day program is that edge. And I think Denzel Igbenosun was an integral part of developing that edge at Ohio State in the Ryan Day era.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, when I talked to one of my major sources at Ohio State, he actually said Ryan Day had to get a cavity filled that day, and that's why he wasn't at the at the Woody, and that's why the pictures were able to be taken. I'm just joking. Came back. What is this? It's not my program. But no, I mean, yeah, we talked about the different places we recruited from, the different personalities that get in there, and it felt like such a flip from the couple years before when Igbenosun got there. You had Jermaine Matthews come in, some Florida guys come in, Jersey guys come in. It was just like, okay, this is starting to feel a little different. And they're starting to get an edge, and you've really seen that built to this point where it is now, where it's like every play, somebody's pushing somebody's fighting after the whistle. Like, I'm surprised we don't have more penalties. I just saw Jeremiah Smith ragdoll somebody from Ohio, just grabbing his face mask. It's like anybody on any Saturday, Ohio State is willing to fight you on and off the field, and it feels that way. So definitely with the flip of this program and the energy, I mean, that was kind of the last piece that was missing, because they used to say it all the time. It's like, you have as good as a team you want. You might have to have a couple dudes that might end up in jail at some point. I'm not saying they got to do something really egregious, but they might end up in a bar fight. It just might happen, and you might have to sleep the night off. So you have a couple of guys on your program, you'll probably be all right.
And here's the thing. I feel like Ryan Day toes that line of like, he gets those guys that have that edge, but also aren't going to do anything to end up in prison. And that's the thing. That's like, Ryan Day has these guys. Someone used the phrase pit bulls and suits. Like, it feels like Ryan Day has a bunch of dogs out there, but at the end of the day, when it comes time to handle business, they're all ready to do it. And it feels like Denzel Igbenosun was one of those guys. And you talked about the different pockets around. I think you also have the different personalities from within inside Ohio too. You have the Cleveland kids, the Dayton kids, the Cincy kids, the Columbus kids, and then even guys from there's Ohio kids from everywhere. And I feel like they bring all kinds of different type of energy, but at the end of the day, they also bring that Buckeye identity of, growing up and everything that it is to be a Buckeye. So just a whole bunch of different hunger mentalities coming together to form the current present day culture under Ryan Day. Q, I had one more topic. I think we can hold that off for next week. Was there anything in regards or next week, tomorrow? Week. Was there anything else in regards to the interviews that you wanted to get to?
No, they were good. I think I filled in the Philip Daniels part that he has a higher ceiling, and I think he can still get a lot better. But yeah, Ryan Day, you got to pull teeth to get stuff out of him for interviews, or he'll just be outly blunt and just tell you no. So you'll get one or the other. But no, we got that. Big games coming up this week again. We got our show tomorrow, and then we prepare for the weekend, and Ohio State should roll again. We got some big games to talk about. So want to continue to get into those, but that's really all I got.
Alrighty, well, let's let the people know where they could find you. We have been testing a new time slot yesterday. The show aired at 10 a.m. We saw excellent results there, so we're going to continue to test this 10 a.m. time slot for the Buckeye Roast. It may become a more permanent slot going forward, but we will see how the numbers go. It definitely helps when you guys smash that like button. Q, when you are here at 10 a.m. or 8 a.m., where else can they find you?
Or 11 p.m. You want to find me, City Boy Quentin, on Twitter, Fly Johnson on Instagram. Everybody, please like that video. Hit those comments. We love talking to you. So make sure you do that. We also have the community tab, and Ron has been posting stuff in there. I was in there, yesterday? I was commenting and seeing what and saw myself in there. So seeing what he's put in there so far. So make sure you interact with that. And yeah, we're here Monday through Friday on Dead Air Sports, 10 a.m. right now. So check in. If somebody's showing up at 8 saying, where's the show? Tell a friend. So, hey, they'll be here live at 10. So make sure you tune in. Ron, where can they find you at?
They can find me here weekdays, Monday through Friday for the Buckeye Roast here with my guy QPski. They can catch me in the Bleacher Report app post games with Chris Drew for an instant reaction immediately after games all season long. And then you can catch me on the timeline at 2Ts. It's 2_TEES. I told Chris the other day I'm going to be focusing more all of my energy into the YouTube channel and not really chasing clout on Twitter or likes and retweets. Your boy's Twitter was booming yesterday. Just can't stay away.
If you don't find the clout, it finds you.
Exactly, man. You know, I just fucking shit bangers. Just happens. That's all I have today, Q. You know how this thing ends. It's always go Bucks. And of course, OH.
IO.
Yeah.